Evo, nakon jednog sjajnog podcasta, prije otprilike godinu i pol dana, možda čak i više, u kojem je gostovao najpoznatiji kickboxing trener trenutačno, možda i u povijesti, Mike Passenier, sa svojim pulenom Antonijom Plazibatom. Situacija se sad promijenila. Nije se zapravo promijenila između njih dvojice, oni su i dalje ne u super odnosima, nego mu je Mike trener, ali ako ste pratili pres konferenciju jučer u Zagrebu i ako ste pratili šta se događa, 17.6. Plazibat će napokon dobiti priliku tući se za titulu privremenog prvaka, ovaj put Gloryjeva u teškoj kategoriji, a onda taj meč, odnosno ta pobjeda bi vodila do Rica Verhoevena. Protivnik će mu biti Tariq Osaro, njegov prijatelj, suborac i isto učenik Mikea Passeniera iz iste dvorane. Tako da imamo danas tu čast, privilegiju, jučer nakon pres konferencije u Zagrebu, hotelu Hilton Gardenu, gostiti ovu dvojicu ovdje. Guys, welcome to Podcast Inkubator and thank you for giving us this time. I know that you have to go to airport and get back to Netherlands, but thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, yesterday you were at the press conference and a lot of people showed up, a lot of media. There was a lot of interest for this press conference. It's not like it's strange for me. I expected it, but this is like more than I expected. What are your first impressions about the press conference and how it went?
Well, first of all, I was very happy to do it here in Croatia, and I was hoping for some press, of course. I didn't expect that much press, and I didn't expect that much of positive outcome, because normally, you know, we're in a strange situation, and we try to sell the fight as good as possible because it's going to be a great fight. And while you're doing it, you always have some doubt in your mind, you know, look, do they take you seriously? But everybody took it very seriously, and everybody could see we generally wants to put up a good show and a good fight, and we want to be a mainstream sports, you know. And in the same weekend that Croatia is playing soccer against Holland, and in the PFL.
Ante Delia,
yes, Delia is fighting, you know, so there's a lot of sports going on, and I want people also to watch our great sports, because it is a very great sport.
Yes, it is.
No matter what.
Yes, it is. I think that it's not getting the deserved credit.
Yes.
I think so, especially in the last few years. You know, there were glory times for kickboxing, like from 2000 to 2010, that was like the prime. We talked about it, and now, it could get better. Cookie, what do you say about the press conference? I think it went very well, and I think that people could see that this fight is not a joke at all. You know, you can tell that you are friends, but you can tell also that at the moment you are not the best friends.
Yeah, at the moment we are not the best friends. There's a lot of respect, which is for me important, and like you just said, everybody knows once it's time to fight, it's gonna get real serious that day. So that's what the first message we could give the people yesterday, and it was very nice being part of such a beautiful press with so much people and so much love from the Croatian fans to, not me maybe, but this event in general. So that was very nice, yeah.
But I would say that you also got some love, because, you know, Plazibat is very popular athlete here in Croatia, especially with the younger audience, you know. He's not, I would say, like the biggest mainstream star at the moment, but if you see his numbers and YouTube numbers, Instagram numbers, podcast numbers, you can tell that he's even better than the mainstream guys. And I was expecting maybe, you know, but at the end everybody loved you. They understand that you're just, you know, in a way of his goals, and that you have to fight. It's not like you can choose. It's like that.
Yeah, it is what it is. He fought his way to the #1 spot, and I fought my way to the #2 spot, and now we're colliding. So yeah, it is what it is, and I hope the people understand that I didn't call him out for a fight. I just did my best, and this is what you do when you do your best. This is what you get when you do your best.
It's crazy that if you think you're only a part of Glory for 1.5 or 2 years, and you got to the Mike Gym in 2021, and now all this, is it too sudden for you, too soon? Because I don't know, this is like a big fight. How do you feel about it?
You know, I went to Mike's gym in 2020.
Sorry.
At the end, and at that time, I was doing kickboxing. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I still want to do it. So I went to Mike's gym.
You were 1 minute from not doing it anymore.
Yeah. Wow. And I went to Mike's and I told him, honest, I don't have pleasure in doing kickbox anymore. And he was like, yeah, just come train, try out here. If you like it, you stay. And then we work towards something. And then the pandemic came, the COVID. So we had a lot of time to sharpen the tools, learn new stuff, learn Mike, his way of training and coaching. And then the pandemic was fading away slowly. And I started fighting like every month, 1 fight, sometimes 2 in 2 weeks. and Mike all of a sudden said once, just look what will happen between now and a year. And I was like, yeah, right. You're not one of a guru who's telling me what will happen between now and 10 years. But we'll see. I am enjoying the moment. I was fighting, I was winning. I was learning more about Mike, his way of coaching, him as a person. So the bond becomes stronger. And then in 2022, I had this tournament, Road to One. And Mike was saying, yeah, I have contact with Glory, but you have to keep on fighting, keep on showing them what you have. And then I won that tournament. And I think the next week, Mike called me, he said, I told you, Glory has sent me a contract for you. I was like, oh shit, okay. And he said, take your time, think about it. Do you want to go on further with Road to One, or you want to go on with Glory? So that decision was made for me very quick. It's like I'm staying close to home. Glory is mostly in Holland, so I'm signing with Glory. And then that's when I had my debut, maybe a month and a half after, on the same card as Plazibata.
Yeah.
Then fought Levi on collision 4, lost, unfortunately. And then
yeah, I think that you got tired in that fight. It seemed to me that after first round that you gave everything that you had, and then just you were
I was gassed out.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, won by knockout. And then after that, just waiting patiently for another opportunity, thinking, yeah, I'll be fighting, it's all okay. And then Mike came with this tournament. And then first it was for the Grand Prix, the spot in the Grand Prix. And then Mike called me again, he said, yeah, listen, if you also win the tournament, you're fighting Plazibata. And I was like, And he said, yeah, it is what it is. Just see it as a nice opportunity and make the best out of it. So yeah, I did what I had to do, train hard. And for the tournament, I showed the world, I think that day, there's a different cookie in me. After the fight with Levi, everybody thought, is he one of those guys who can be at the top? And I think I showed them in the tournament. And that's when Mike said to me, I told you.
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Again.
I told you. So I was like, yeah, I know you told me. Thank you very much. So yeah, the whole trip from the start until now went very fast. But I think it was meant to be. If you look at the way we traveled this trip and the way we are having fun, I think it's meant to be. And I think it also showcases the quality of our gym and the quality of our trainer, because
Definitely.
I don't think any gym has done the same as he is doing now at the top of the heavyweights at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you some of the details, but I will leave it for later. Mike, what's your perspective on this, what he said? Because when you were here last time, you told us a story how, from your perspective, looked when Plazo came to Mike's gym. Can you tell us about the cookie? What did you expect from him, since, you know, he was on the verge of going out of kickboxing and he obviously lost the motivation. What did you see in him, and how this process went from, you know, this ground zero to now to this success and fighting Plazo for the interim belt?
Yeah, well, first he came to spar with Badr. And first of all, he was just doing nothing, just walking in the ring, getting punches and kicks and knees and whatever. But, you know, I also look at different things, you know, like he's one of these fighters who folds his clothes nicely, put it there, you know, start changing and put it back. And then, you know, I'm just looking, that's strange. Because normally they get it out, they put it on and just, you know, it's done. And when he's finished, you know, he's also folding it back there. And so, you know, then I'm not that guy, you know, who starts, you know, to try to be friends or something. But if you start coming, I will ask you some questions. You know, like, what are you doing? You know, I'm just curious. And so then we start, and then I ask him, why don't you punch back? Can't you? And then I said, well, if you want, you can come with us with normal training. Then maybe we can see something different. I can show you something different. So he showed up, and then I see some faults. And I said, maybe you should keep your feet like this, you keep your hands like this, you walk like this, keep your head like this, just when you do this, move like that. And he picked it up. So we start talking, and then the pandemic came, and he kept on training because I'm an Olympic gym. This I'm on the Olympic website. That's what I did in the COVID time. So we can train whenever there is something like that going on. So I invited him to train. You know, we started to train some more and more and more, and then I keep on asking, of course, questions. And then I said, well, maybe you should do some fighting again. Yeah, fight. I said, yeah, no, you have to do some serious fighting. So we get one call on a Thursday. Do you got a heavyweight? I said, well, I got one. I said to him, do you want to fight this guy? I said, yeah, sure, why not? I said, okay, we have to leave tomorrow. It's the same with Plazibata, you know, and we get a call on Thursday, we leave on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But with him we got a call on Thursday, we leave on Friday, we fight on Saturday and drive back from Belgium. And we won, but a lot of things also went wrong, so we were happy, but you know me, always,
never happy.
I'm very happy, but you did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. And I said, no, I'm just happy I won. I said, no, but that's not enough, because I think you can do better, you can do more. So we go in every fight, he gets better. Until this Levy fight, you know, there are some flaws in that fight, but sometimes you lose a fight, but you actually win. And this is one of these fights. He lost, but now, after that fight, he realized, because when I tell him, listen, maybe you should go on the running machine, you know, and then they say, yeah, why? Okay, then don't. But now he knows why I tell him this. You have to do that, or come boxing in the morning at 7 o'clock. Why? Well, now, and now in the last tournament, it all paid out, because after the first round against Wilnis, in the middle, I said, do you think it's stupid to do the running machine and the air bike? He says, no. He says, why? Are you out of air? He says, no, I feel good. That's what I'm saying.
You're
okay.
king.
So then I start talking about the fight. I said, listen, you catch him with uppercut. And, you know, and I just tell him what to do the next round, and he knocked him out. So that was the first big win for him. Then the second one was against also this Murat Aygun.
Yeah, Turkish guy.
Yes, he is very hard-headed. You know, he's the same as this Raul Catinas. You know, they take 5 punches to give one. It's not the most clever tactics
approach,
in my opinion, but you know they do. So, but if he doesn't have a good condition, he couldn't finish that fight because they wait till you get tired and they punch you. And he punched him in the round 2, and he stood still for a while. But because you're in a good condition, you can absorb it and continue. And that's the way I see it, the way we did, and you know. And by that time, like I said, well, in about 1 year, you know, I'm gonna have you in the top 5 or something. And then nobody thought it could
possible,
be.
Yeah.
And I said, why not? We just need to win a couple of fights, and we did. And step by step, and it's the same with I said to Plazibata. Once you knock out 10 people in a row, you will be remembered.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember you because one time you win on points, or one time you lost, but you should have won. You're complaining at the referee. One time I've lost, but my aunt got sick, and my dog, and my cat, and I don't know what. You know, just, like I said, straight up, nuts and guts, you know, squeeze the hands and knock them out. And then you get your reward. And then people will watch, because if the fighters both were winning on points their last 4 fights each, there wouldn't be that much press. Nobody's watching for a very technical fight.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody's, like I said the last time, nobody's stepping in the car and looking at each other and said, I hope we're going to see some very good clinching today.
Yes. Oh, very good fight on points.
Yes, or a clever matchup. Nobody wants it. Styles make fights, you know.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
And you just come for this ultimate thing, and this ultimate thing is a knockout.
I agree with you on Levy fight, because I think that he did great in the first round. I was so surprised about the uppercuts and about changing stance, about nice hooks for a big guy, but I think he just gassed out, nothing less, nothing more than that. I think that he would finish him if he had more. I think that Levy was actually letting him punch it out in the first round and then maybe go with kicks later. But I think it was a good fight for you at that point. For me, great fight. But actually, at the tournament now, you showed up. You showed how much you improved in every aspect, and especially conditioning. It's 2 fights in one night, so yeah, and not an easy opponent. Especially Jafar, the first fight. Plazibata and I talked here about these fights and the tournament, because he was few weeks earlier than that here. Before that, yeah, and he said that Jafar is very, very dangerous. He can win on points. He can knock you out, and that was ugly knockout. I think that was the ugliest knockout I've seen in a while, because actually the referee was not good. I don't know what to say, because only ropes kept him standing, and it should been stopped like, I don't know, 15 punches earlier. What can you see about that fight? Because Jafar Vilnis is big, great name with a lot of experience. How do you recall that match?
Yeah, I knew he's one of the biggest names in Glory, and a fighter who has been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
But he was also one of the guys I wanted to face in the division, because he's been there so long, but he has been out for some years as well. So yeah, I wanted to test myself against him, because everyone was like, oh, Jafar Vilnis, he can take punches, he can work 3 rounds. I was like, yeah, I know he can, but I also see things he can't. And I know I said that day to a friend, once I touch him on the perfect moment, he goes down. And that was the uppercut that Mike said to me in the rest. Use it more, switch stance, stay in the stance and follow up. And that was the right hook, and that caught him, and then I knew, okay, it's on. Did it take too long? Yes, but I'm not the referee. I'm there to kill or be killed. So as long as the ref don't stop it, I'm continuing. Because I have to win. I can't give you the chance to come back.
No, of course. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong, but it looked brutal. I was like, man, stop it. Joe Rogan has this, they always put it on some memes. Like, stop the fight! Stop the fight! Because this guy is actually dead. I'm just waiting them to fall like a tree. And another then great win in the finals again. Perfect knockout, perfect right, and then left hook, right, if I recall.
Yeah, that was the last knockdown. Right, straight left hook.
Yes. Perfect. Another tough guy, like Mike said. You know, he can take a punch, but also very dangerous guy. I saw that you also took some punches. It was not easy.
Yeah, he gave me one in the second and one in the third. He's tough. He's very tough. I think that I knocked him down the second round. I think his soul left his body, but he still came back. And the third one as well, he was like, and came back, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit, this guy is a zombie,
This is the real deal, yeah. It was like Walking Dead. And when I caught him the fourth time, I was like, finally, it's done.
Because there's four knockdown rule.
4 knockdowns. So he's tough. He's really tough. He can take punches, but I trained with him, so I knew his body is weak. And once you start kicking and keeping the body, he loses everything. So I knew from the start that's what I have to do in order to get my knockout.
I wanted to ask you before, why did you lose the motivation for fighting before you came to Mike's gym? You said that you just didn't want to do it anymore. What happened? Is it like economical reason? The payday was not good, your paycheck, or what else?
Different aspects. I was training somewhere else, and I was training to train, not to get better and learn more.
I understand.
And training. And if you ask, what do I have to do? Train more, do this, but not specific small things. I am a person of myself. I like to do many things as good as possible. So that's what Mike also said in the beginning. You ask too much, because I want to get all the details together. So it's one
right
package.
away. It's not possible.
So that was for me one of those things. And then I lost, and I was like, why am I still fighting? I work also with the youth, so I can do that. That's also something I like. So why fuck up my body and fight, and instead of helping the youth and also get the satisfaction. And that was something I was thinking about very long time, because I went to train, not to get better or learn other things. And then a friend said to me, "You're crazy. Why are you stopping?" And that's when he brought me to Mike's, and that's where I started getting back the motivation. But it was really the why am I doing this, and I'm not getting more better than what I was at that moment.
Yeah, I understand. Mike, last time you were here, we talked about Antonio's career, and we talked from the beginning to the point when you were here. But last year, his career went crazy. He got all the knockouts, knockout of the year, fighter of the year, but still did not won the prize that you won, and that's the fight against Rico. And it was supposed to happen in spring, then in summer. You had the press conference with Rico over there, but he got injured. And this is, we can say, second best thing for you and your gym. You wanted the Rico fight, but now you will eventually get it. Can you please tell us how do you feel about the whole year for Antonio and up to this fight with Cookie?
Well, first of all, when we sat here about 1.5 years ago, I talked about it, that Antonio came to me and said, listen, coach, finally I understand what you are saying.
Yes, yes, I remember that.
And I understand what you are saying in training, in the ring, what I have to do, why I have to do these things. So then, and I'm going to apply this to the ring. And then from there on, you can see the knockouts. Yes. The knockouts more clearer, you know, and the better it gets. So I was very happy about that. He calls himself Mini Mike. because yes, I know, because that's okay. And well, we want to fight Rico. We want to be the best. But on the other hand, if there is no Rico to fight, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and mope? Yeah. Or I said to him, listen, if you are the champion that I believe you are, you can fight anybody. Who cares? We fight Tariq Babas one more time. Nobody wants to fight him, we fought him. Nobody wants to fight him again, we fight him again. Yeah. The outcome the same. He got injured on his knee. He get better, you know, we fight Raul Catinas. Why would you take such kind of risk? Simple. I told him, these were my exact words. Michael Jordan, when he was playing with the Bulls, he didn't say, no, I don't go out to the Trailblazer Wizards, I don't know, to play there. No, you have to do this. So there is always different aspects in the game. You can learn and be better. We can apply things we've been training. That first of all, you can show everybody you get better, and you can build yourself a name. And in this fight it was his first fight. He was a main event. Next fight's going to be, it is his first fight. He's a main event on a collision show. He fought on a collision show against Wilnis. Yeah. Win on points. Good. No problem. Then, today he's the main event. But he's not only the main event, he's also the favorite. So that brings extra pressure. And what are you going to say if he fights Rico? Because Rico has been the main event for many years. Yeah. Yeah. So you can say he's 10 years the champion. I feel it differently because he didn't fight for the last 2 years. And before that, there was also COVID for 2 years, so that's only 6 years.
What do you think about this whole situation with Rico? It seems like, you know, from our perspective, from Croatian's perspective, from this point of view, that he's avoiding him and that, you know, Glory's not doing much to put this show, you know.
My opinion, I understand what you are saying because you look at it from the Croatian,
that's why I said it.
From the Croatian point of view. But if you look closely, when the things went bad with Glory, Rico took a pay cut. Not many fighters would do this. And he took some more fights. He was a champion, he stayed champion. He, you know, wherever they want him to fight, he just came up and fight. So he earned some credits. Okay. In these credits, they made a negotiation. I want to do something new that's called Hit It. Mm. I want to do the show with dance and sing and I don't know, whatever. You know, it's not my cup of tea, but he wanted it. And Glory said, we go along with this. Okay. Okay. In the meanwhile, he wanted to do this. These things got postponed because it was of COVID. Yeah. It's not Rico's fault. Okay. It's not Glory's fault. Then he had this show coming up. Mm. But in the same time, he cannot fight Plazibata. So, could he fight Plazibata on that Hit It? Well, he probably could, and it would be better sold, I think, than he did now against Esri. But these are all kinds of circumstances. If you don't know them, you would look at it like, yeah, it looks like he's avoiding him.
From our perspective, like I told you.
But I don't think he's very keen to fight Plazibata. But when push comes to shove, he's going to fight him. Okay. And he has to fight him. So now we did this movie. Glory said, yeah, you can do this. No problem. You can do. We support your acting because when you are a good actor, You know, and you fight in Glory, it's plus, so everybody's winning.
Marketing.
Because back then, nobody would expect there's going to be another fighter for years to match Rico. And then there is Plazibata. And it's not even that, it's not even Plazi, but also he's knocking on the door. Hey, Plazi, if you don't feel like it, I want to go. Eh?
Yeah, I'm here. No problem.
So,
but it's crazy, sorry. It's actually you, Mike, knocking on the door of Rico. I have two guys over there just waiting. I'm just saying.
Yes, don't worry, but...
I'm sorry, but...
No. Yes, well, listen, I'm always...
You also have Ben Sadiq, crazy.
Ben Sadiq, yeah. And Badr is making his return
I know.
On September 9th.
September 9th?
In Paris.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
So so it is going to be interesting. And look, everybody knows I'm a big fan of heavyweight fighting. It's different than the other weights.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're the heavyweight champion, you're the king of champions. That's simple. Tyson Fury makes so much more than Lomachenko against Haney.
Definitely.
You know, Haney gets $4 million for his fight. He's the bigger favorite. He's the guy who draws everything. So Lomachenko get less. Tyson Fury paid...
30 million.
No, he paid Dillian White 3.2 million to fight him. You know, so that means he makes more, way more.
Yeah.
So he just paid, okay, well, I don't got an opponent. Hugh, you want to fight me? I pay you 3.2. Yeah, okay, it's good. And I give you maybe something from the pay-per-view or the ticket sales, something like this. I don't know how it is correctly, but, you know, with that knowing, you know, the heavyweight fighting is the summum of fighting. And everybody knows... you know, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, these kind of fighters. And who were there on the 63 kilo class.
Yeah, nobody knows him. Yeah, you don't even know Hall of Famers from smaller categories. Yes, most of the people.
I do because I love boxing, but...
Yeah, most of the people,
Yes, so that's why the heavyweights are intriguing.
We had a problem here in Croatia because, you know, the televisions were broadcasting just heavyweight boxing, for example, for the last 15, 20 years. Then people thought, okay, something's wrong with boxing because the Klitschko brothers were in charge, you know. The fights were boring, most of it was holding, referees were on their side. And people said, okay, this thing sucks. And they did not know that at the same time Mayweather was having a great career. A lot of boxers from smaller categories were on their peak, and we were just looking at Klitschko brothers, thought, oh man, this is shit boxing.
Yes.
So,
well, they probably ruined it.
Yeah.
You know, same as...
For a while,
The same as Schumacher did for Formula 1.
Yeah, too good for his time,
He was too good, the rest is too bad.
Yes.
You know, and they changed the rules also according to the good ones. You know, it's also with the Klitschko, they got a different canvas. So you need to have, so you suck in that. The Tyson Fury said, no, we need different.
But actually, they were real brawlers and fighters until the point where Vladimir was knocked out for the second time, and then he went to Emmanuel Stewart, and he told him, listen man, you have to change your style. And then he started holding people, pushing them down, just, you know, going to the points, and he changed his style, but actually he won all the titles and won all the matches afterwards still.
And had a lot of knockouts.
Yeah, actually, he had a lot of knockouts. So yeah, Emmanuel Stewart changed his whole style.
Yes.
And made him champion.
To Lennox Lewis style.
Yes, to Lennox Lewis style, right, yeah. Actually, yeah.
And you can go back with...
Lennox also does this, you know, he just...
he punches.
And then push down.
Yes, because he's the bigger fighter.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
I said the same to Antonio.
You said the same to Antonio, yeah.
Against Catinas. You just lay on him sometimes.
Also brutal knockout. I was so impressed how he pushed his hand down. That's the art of it. He pushed his hand just to free his head, and he can punch it clearly.
Run the knockout back again. The turning point is the low kick. Because he's punching on him, and then he's tight, and then he get the low kick. You see him, and he's weakened, then you can take the hand down. Bang!
Yeah.
And then you go from there.
Okay,
Nice win.
Okay, guys, I know that people don't want to talk about sparring sessions, nothing to talk about, but one of them got out. I think that actually Glory published the sparring session from you and Plazibata. How much sparring did you do in this last 2 years? And is this good for both of you or bad, considering that you will fight each other in 1 month? If you know what I mean. You know him, he knows you, but you also both know how you how these sparring sessions went. So, what's your perspective, Cookie?
I think that's what makes it very hard.
Yeah, that's why.
Because you know how he's gonna move, how he's reacting, maybe what he do in stance. And that's, you have to think like 2 to 3 steps ahead of each other the day we're fighting, because we've been sparring a lot, especially last year in his running up in the division. We have made a lot of hours in the ring together. So yeah, it's gonna be very hard fighting him. Because of the way I know he fights and how he anticipates on punches and kicks. That's very hard.
It's very hard for you.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you say about this problem? You already talked about it many times. It's a logical question I asked you yesterday. How do you handle this situation? And you told something about it on the press conference, but can you tell it for our audience? It's not the first time for you. Yesterday, I think you told me it's 4th time or 3rd time. It's difficult for you, especially afterwards, because some of one of them will lose. So you will feel sorry for this guy. Of course, you will be happy for the other one. How do you handle this situation? You did some schedule. One is, I don't know, trains on Monday, the other one on Thursday.
No. You train every day, but on different time zones of the day.
Okay.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he's there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Plazibata can come at 12:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30. And then Tuesday, Thursday, he's on around noon, and then Plazibata can come or before or after to do his thing. And Saturday.
Sorry to stop you. You know what's strangest thing for me, the most difficult thing for me to understand this perspective. You are the trainer of both of them. You know their good sides and bad sides.
Yes.
And you probably know how one can defeat the other, because it's a strange position. You know, how do you handle this kind of situation?
That's what they say. So that's why they said, okay, nobody can train with me separately.
Okay.
Unless, because normally, when the fight is coming, I said, okay, listen, come. We go here. No, come, we do that. He's got one guy Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the morning boxing. He got one guy, he's holding for him, Patrick. His name is Patrick Hansen.
Okay.
He's holding for him. If Patrick Hansen is not be able to come to train, because he's a bus driver, then I can train with him. Walter is holding the pads for Plazibata. If Walter cannot hold the pads, I can hold the pads for Plazibata. But if not, they can come, because on 12:30 is the classical class I teach. Monday to Thursday, Friday Walter does some conditioning. And they can come to the class. They come to the class, in the class. I can tell you, you should put your hands like this, feet like this, just like this. Because it's always like, stay in the lane, stay in the lane.
It's general rules, not just specific.
We don't do, but I never do anything special for an opponent. I just want to make them better.
Okay, I understand.
Because otherwise, we're losing time in evolvement. So every fight, they need to be better.
Yeah, but Plazo, when he was here 3 weeks ago, he was talking about some sparring and crazy sparring at your gym. It's legendary sparring. And he told one time there was a guy came in, he was acting like, he was a little bit, how would I say, he was dancing around, not throwing many punches. And you called him, you said, just hold him with your elbow and knee him, and he will fall. And he said, okay. And I did that, and he fell down, and it was over. And you just told me that you told him just use uppercut for Jafar Vilnis, he will finish the fights. That's why I told you, you know their weak points, so you probably know where they're weakest and what the other one can exploit to win this fight. And it's a difficult position for you because you need to stay neutral.
Yes, but that's why after he won, it was on a Saturday, Wednesday we talked and discussed these things about it, and Plazibata also said these things, like, okay, look, this thing is, I can train with you because if I win, his friends will tell him, Mike told you, this is the secret to win, and the other way around. So we just came to this conclusion, and I said, okay, listen, we do it like this, and if there's any questions, like, they ask me, okay, do you think this is a good combination, or do you think I can do it like this? Then I can give my opinion, of course, because he's also training with Yuri. And Yuri and Walter, they should do it. And it's just the same thing for when I'm old and I'm not there anymore. Okay. But I cannot attend to fights or won't be able to go to fights, or there's somebody who should push the buttons.
Yeah, okay. You told us about Badr Hari's return.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. So you rejoined again. I'm glad also about it. We talked on the podcast that you're like father and a son. You have this kind of relationship that it happened also in the past that you split, but you got back together. Now Plazibata told us that he is training seriously. I didn't know that he's returning. That's good news. Crazy how much strange things happen in his career. I looked at it today. He does not have one win from 2015. It's 8 years. Crazy. Yes. And he had 2 injuries, 3 no contests because of, I don't know, steroids or whatever. And 2 times he lost TKO. But again, in these fights, he was better actually and winning until the KO. Even in the last fight against Alistair, he was dominating, and then he got punched and went. But at the end, this fight is no contest because Reem was tested positive. So what can you tell us about his return?
Well, after his last fight, he called me the day after and asked me how do I feel about it. About the fighting, the evening. So I said, about the show? It's a good show. No, about the fights. And I said, well, some things I don't understand, I don't understand. And then we start talking. And in my opinion, do you know what the Stradivarius is?
Stradivarius, yeah.
There's a violin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amati, Stradivari, and...
if you can play a violin, you cannot play Stradivarius. Only, not the good ones, but the exceptional players can play on this machine. Well, and I think he's something like that, because nobody knows how to do this.
Yeah, how to tune him.
Yes, the last fight, it was with me, it was against Benny.
Yeah.
He was winning until he decides to go his own way. But then we were already about yes, no. That's one. And he did his own thing, got lost. He lost because after the first round I said, the pace is too high, you should slow it down. He knocked him 8 counts, and I said, okay, you should only reply him. Don't go after him, just reply him. Stay on your feet and you win the fight. And I was not even down the stairs, and he was already attacking this Benny like a maniac. So he went out of air, cat punched, fall down. Then afterwards he said, well, I didn't hear you. Well, it's a little bit strange because normally we have 20,000 people, you can hear me just fine. Because I got a loud voice. And now it's empty and you cannot hear me. I didn't understand. So, okay, well, if that's the case, that's the case. Before that, against Rico, the first one we wobbled Rico.
Yeah.
The second one, he was winning.
Got injured.
Until he thinks he's in 2005 and do the turning kick.
Yeah.
That's the one, you know, you get older. And sometimes when you get older, the body won't do what the mind is thinking.
Of, yeah.
Because, you know, it's when I do the boxing at 7, my mind is here, but my body is still 2 steps behind, so sometimes it looks differently. And okay, and then after his fight against Alistair, we were talking, and I said, I don't understand. I don't see the game plan. I don't see these things, you know. Also, when he was fighting Rosjek, I don't see the game plan. You know, you are 2 meters, you go to the body, but you're not going to the body like punching. You also go down, and once you go down, you need to go all the way up again, and that means you're vulnerable. And he got a kick. Lost. And he said, yeah, well, you know, it's a little bit from 2 sides, it's a little bit pride, you know. I left and I thought, okay, I could hang in there. And okay, so we decided to start training again. We just started training again. And it was like when we started in 2006, we started together, yes. Beginning of 2006, he had his jaw broken. We started training, and the first time when we started training, I said, no, put your feet like this, put your hand like this, stand like this, do like this. Punch now. Okay, and again. Okay, now you do this, now you do that, turn the hand in, turn it out, things like this, you know, and it started working. And he started producing some solid hard punches. And, you know, and then he started to be happy again, and he thinks, well, what do you think? Do you think I can still win these fights? I think, well, you can still fight. There's no problem in that. You can still win it. You just need to execute them.
Yes.
And once you do that again, instead of being, because I think my problem with him is it's the same as Rocky III. He got civilized. He thinks he got a big opinion of what other people think about him. But other people wouldn't look at him if he wasn't bothered. You know? So all of a sudden, well, I don't need to knock this guy out, you know, or I don't want to just knock him out. That's why people like you. They don't like you for your fancy talking or whatever. And these people who do, they like you anyway. So who cares? And it's the same as I tell these guys. Just knock them out. Who gives a fuck? What's going to happen? You know? You can say sorry afterwards, but it's still sports, and the sports is this. You know, the guy with the most points win, but if you knock somebody out, you win anyway. So the closest thing is go to the knockout and don't do so much.
So he's returning, you said, in September, right?
Yes, September 7th or 9th. 9th.
Okay.
9th is Saturday, I think.
Do you know the opponent or not? Or you cannot tell?
No, I don't, not yet. There are like 3 different guys who are
options.
There is an American, a British guy, and a French guy.
Okay.
So I'll probably be Demario Dennis, McSweeney, or
James McSweeney.
the French guy. What's his name? Freddy Camayo.
Freddy Camayo. Yeah.
And look, and I told him I don't know, you know, it's just my feeling. I said, okay, you can do one fight, and if you do one more, because we have to do one fight, we see what's good, we see what's wrong, we have to make it better than next fight, and then go maybe in the tournament, and maybe who's in the tournament? He's the only one who got a ticket to the tournament so far.
Yeah.
But it would be something extra if Badr can go into the tournament. It would be nice if Plazibata is in the tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe Jamal go to the tournament. I don't know. If we need to fight for it, we will fight for it. We have to fight, but we can fight other guys. And I said always, I don't mind fighting like this with Plazibata and Cookie, as long if it's got a meaning, if it's meaningful.
I understand.
If there is...
Yeah, if it's some ordinary fight, it won't make any sense.
Look, you're number 5 and you fight the number 8. And if you win, maybe you go to number 4. And if he wins, maybe you go to number 7. Look, that is no fight, because there are, I don't know how many people, and especially now, the population are getting bigger. So they're getting more and more heavyweights. You know, make an open invitation for all heavyweights in the world. Just come to Glory and try to fight in the tournament and go for the 500,000. You never know, because you need also fights before this. You know, you got this weekend Benjamin Arboui against this France guy.
Ladouni.
Ilias Ladouni. You know, so this is the second one, and there are more 6 places. But beside the 6 places, you got to have like 2 reserve fights. So you got 10 more places. So why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Cookie, how do you feel about sparring? What's experience when you spar Badr Hari? It's something that, you know, everybody from fighting business and every fan wants to know. How does it feel? Mike said that when you first got to the gym, you were just walking around and taking punches. What was in your head then, and how do you see it today? A lot of things change. Your status went up. Yeah. You are now a 3rd contender, and a lot of things change.
We haven't sparred since he's back, but in the beginning, those were tough rounds, man. Once the bell goes, he changes into something, someone else, and goes for the kill. And though those rounds are very hard, you still, I was still able to learn a lot of the hard rounds with him. And yeah, like I said, he's back. We haven't sparred, but I think we can get in more better rounds than we had in the beginning. Because I am now also a Mike's gym member, so I know also things I didn't knew back then. So I think if he comes back and we have some rounds, those will be beautiful, hard rounds, for sure, 100%.
For sure. Do you, let's change.
Next week?
Next week, yeah. Can we change just subject for a while? I wanted to ask you about the interesting thing that fighting sports, all sorts of, especially MMA, is on the rise in Africa. And I can see that you are fighting under Nigerian flag. You were born in the Netherlands, but you are proud Nigerian. And if you look at UFC, a lot of things change. UFC is the biggest fighting stage in the world, and nobody should doubt that.
Yeah.
And they have now many African champions. For example, Israel Adesanya, also from Nigeria. Kamaru Usman was champion, now he's ex-champion, but a lot of good fighters are coming. Dricus du Plessis, he's from South Africa. So a lot of things are changing in Africa, and I think that you have pretty good genes for fighting, definitely. You are tough guys, and now more people are fighting under African flags than before. Can you tell us something about that? How do you feel about it? Are you a proud Nigerian?
I think we want to show the world.
Sorry, I forgot about Ngannou, of course.
Ngannou also.
Yeah. He's from Cameroon. That's why I forgot about him. Yeah.
That's different.
Cameroon is special. Yeah. No, I think we want to put Africa on the map. I mean, only look at Nigeria. We have over 200 million people in that country. That's only in the country. What would it be around the world? And I do follow some small gyms in Nigeria, and you see there's a lot of talent. Only the courage and the will to bring that out. That's sometimes something you don't see. And we're lucky we have a Kamaru Usman and we have Adesanya, me rising up now. But I think we can do more in showing our talent and coming from Africa and being so strong and having the will to be great. And we're making a start, and I hope this encourage all the youths over there or the ones the same age fighting now to do more and show the world we're also powerful and we can also fight. Basically what we do our whole life.
Mm-hmm. Interested in MMA or not, maybe in the future? Because it's clear path now for a lot of fighters in the UFC. It seemed like 5 or 10 years ago that wrestlers will dominate MMA world, but it changed very quickly, and now actually kickboxers are dominating. They just learn how to defend the takedowns, and they are like killing everybody on the feet because they are the best fighters. If you can combine fighting with your hands and your feet, it's actually logical. So now, if you look at the divisions, most of the fighters are actually kickboxers, and Alex Pereira got from Glory in few fights. He defeated Adesanya, now he lost, but he's now fighting Blachowicz again. So yeah, there's a clear path now to success in MMA and earning millions and millions of dollars that you cannot do in kickboxing. It's just reality. I know that Mike is not going to push you guys in MMA. We talked about it, but of course that's an option in the future. What do you think about it, and what do you think about the paths of other kickboxers from Glory and other promotions that went to UFC and did it with a lot of success?
I think it only shows that kickboxing is one of the greatest sports at the moment in the world, but don't get the credits they deserve.
Definitely.
I mean, you have Doumbé who left, he's doing well. Yeah. You have Adesanya who fought by Glory.
Giga Chikadze went also from Glory.
Yeah, you have Pereira. Who came from Glory.
It's just another level of striking. You can see when they come, it's just, they are different animals.
Yeah, so when I said it's just showcases we're doing one of the greatest sports at the moment. And for me to go to MMA, I don't know. I think if you look at the paychecks, I will rather choose boxing over MMA.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Try my shot at boxing and maybe become richer there. So I don't know. First I have Plazibata, then I have Glory, and if my body still wants and I can do.
I mean, you're pretty young, right? 27.
27, yeah.
So yeah, heavyweights are in their peak at 35 probably.
Yeah. So there's enough time to develop as fighter, and who knows if it's gonna be MMA or boxing or just only kickboxing. Maybe become actor. Never know. No, I'm joking.
But Mike is laughing. It was honestly. Okay, but actor, yeah, sure, man, yeah. Okay, see you in the gym, right?
Yeah. No, we'll see what the future beholds, and just make sure I become a legit heavyweight in Glory. Maybe become champion, and then from there and check, okay, what to do next. I don't like looking too much in the future and telling people, I will go and do MMA now. I'm doing kickboxing now, and I want to be as good as possible in kickboxing before I do another profession. Okay,
that's fair. Mike, we talked about it, but do you feel some kind of pride when you see all these guys coming from kickboxing and dominating MMA fighters, especially now? It was crazy then Pereira and Adesanya were fighting for prestigious belt in UFC, not once, but twice. Yes. And actually it was kickboxing just with small gloves.
Yes, that's true. And I also think and believe that it's just a matter of time till we can acknowledge as the sport as we are, so we can also fight for the bigger paychecks.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's in the way, it's like now in MMA, they are very lucky. They have a guy like Dana White with UFC, who basically set the pace for every other organization to follow. In kickboxing, we don't have. You know, so most of the time, like I said last time, you know, here in Croatia, there are a lot of good kickboxers. You know, we tried with a couple of them in Holland. They unfortunately didn't succeed. They were not strong enough to leave house and motherland just to go to Holland, like Plazibata did, you know, sit by himself. There, no father, no family, everybody on Skype, only with his PlayStation, and just go to the gym 2 times a day and be better. You know, and most of the time, these good kickboxers, they just go being either or security or debt collectors. Or when you see them much later, they're not in the best shape of their life. You know, say it like that. And that's the shame about it, and that's why we don't have a really positive name. And because of this not so positive name, we don't get paid the way we should be. But like I said, it's just a matter of time till somebody like Dana White gets us by the hand and says, no, we have to do it differently, you know, we have to do it like that. And Glory is doing a lot of these things, they're trying. And I have to say there is also some, how do you say, some struggling within the company from other fighters, you know, then this guy do something stupid and that guy do something stupid. But step by step we are getting there. And I think I believe by just giving good fights, things will change. Like I said, nobody knew about Mike Tyson until he started knocking people out. And then even later on, we here in Europe, we just set the alarm clock to watch him fight, or we watch Muhammad Ali fight, you know, when for the older people, you know, because he's producing these knockouts. And if once these guys keep on knocking people out, people will tune in to watch. The more people tune in to watch, because now we got this deal with Videoland.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, we got a very much press and very good press release. So more people will tune in. And maybe, just maybe, after the Croatian-Holland first match, there are some Croatians who say, well, listen, let me extend for a couple of days and watch Plazibata fighting this cookie.
I think it's going to happen, definitely.
Well, let's hope so. For the Salt Out Ahoy, you know, it's almost next to each other. And, you know, and because this is one of the best cards Glory have.
Yeah, 3 title fights. I forgot to mention it. Yeah, with theirs and 3 more.
Yes, 3 more, yes. But not 3 title matches that you think, oh, well, this guy he don't stand a chance. No. They all have chances to win. You know, and especially their teammate, Serkan, he's going to take Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson is a very technical fighter. Serkan is just a banger, or not just a banger, he's a banger, he likes to bang. So, like I said, style make fight, so just to warm up the crowd for the big final, when the big boys arrive. Yeah, wouldn't it be great?
And Andre Kedviš also fighting Croatian fighter. This is his debut for Glory. On undercard, so great stuff.
Yes.
Quick one. In your taste, by your taste, how do you say, Adesanya or Pereira? Who do you like more? And when they fought, what did you think it's going to? Because you watched them also in Glory, they were fighting.
Yeah, we watched them, we fought them.
Yeah, you fought them.
We watched them, we fought them. I like them both. I think Adesanya has a little bit more credit because he's doing it longer and he fought actually all kinds of fighters.
Yeah.
And I don't think Pereira fight a true wrestler yet.
No, they just, pushed him to fight Adesanya. They gave him all stand-up fighters. That was the deal. Okay, last subject, guys, and then we will stop for a second and then answer a few questions in Q&A.
Okay.
You both like football. We talked about football. Actually, you played football. And seriously, until high school, what kind of position can you play with 2 meters, man, and 111 kilos? Who are you kidding, man? You could be maybe goalkeeper, maybe, but what happened with that? And do you still keep track of football and watching?
He can get the ball out of the tree.
Yes. The one climbing.
Yes, the only position he could play. I was saying, imagine him as a defender. He would be just killed.
I was defender.
You were defender,
I was in the center.
Logically, yeah.
First, I played when I was
center
young.
defender. It's called libero, right?
Yes.
In the middle, yeah.
In the middle. But when I started, I was attacker. I was number 9. And then once someone fell out of injury, and I went in the defense. And then the coach said, from now on, you're the defender. So I was always in the center until my last 2 years in the youth. And then I became attacker again. I went in the front because of scoring. There was one training I scored once, like 8 goals back to back. And then the coach was like, oh shit.
Okay, maybe we should push you in front.
Push you back again to the front.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then injuries came and I became, I gained more weight.
Yeah, it's difficult to play football with 2 meters. It's difficult.
No, it's not difficult, but once the weight comes, it becomes very difficult. Yeah. And then the body says, this is not good. So that's when I stopped and started doing kickboxing, and also start losing the interest into football. I only watch sometimes Champions League or when the nations are playing each other, World Cup, Europa Cup. But I don't follow it like I used to. So I just watch. Yeah,
but people are here and in Netherlands also crazy for football, about football, Especially, in Croatia, football is everything. We just won 3rd place in catering in the world championship 4 years ago. We were 2nd, and Netherlands also has not just a great national team, but great league with Ajax and all these other famous clubs. So it will be interesting. The semi-final on the 14th. Yeah, so on the 14. je polufinale Lige Nacija. 3 dana kasnije Plazu i onda 18. finala, ako se plasiramo, vidit ćemo mi Nizozemska. Big Mike, do you watch football or
yes.
not? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you think who will win, Netherlands or Croatia in semi-final? Difficult, right?
It's difficult. Look, I may be colored, but I'm Dutch.
Yeah.
I brought up Dutch. I'm just, like they say, I'm from Amsterdam. I'm just an Amsterdammer.
Yeah.
I can't help it, so I support Ajax. I support Holland. The only thing, about this, the last couple of years I come to Croatia, I have to say people treat me really nice here. I don't know if it is because of they're just nice or just because of Plazibata, but I have a really good time, just like yesterday, you see all these people, everybody is happy to see me, and genuine happy, because some people, they look at me and say, okay, but here everybody's always happy. So, well, it's a little bit different, because I really want a player like Modric to sit in the stands and watch Plazi fighting. And I really want somebody like him walking Plazibata out, and things like that. And this, and it also creates more hype for our beautiful sports.
Definitely.
And I truly believe these two kinds of sports can go hand in hand with each other. Because you see also in Holland, like One guy is called Xavi Simons. He's always, when Tajani's fighting, he's sitting there center stage. You know, how good would it be after they played against each other, sit next to each other, Xavi Simons and Modric, you know, maybe he plays a little side bet, you never know.
You never know.
for a cola or something, something like this would be great.
Okay, guys, thank you for this first part, and I cannot say that I want you to win because I don't, but good luck with everything else, yeah, and maybe we'll see each other on the 17, guys from Glory called me to come to see the fight in live,
nice.
So that would be nice. Thank you one more time, guys. Ekipa, hvala vama što ste pratili još jedan podcast Inkubator, naravno najboljoj mreži, najstabilnijem streamu, A1 mreži, ostanite s nama za Q&A. Just wanted to say one more thing. I was just thinking, you guys should have a podcast together. It would be called like Big Mike and Cookie. His podcast is great, like Big Mike and Cookie. You cannot imagine better name than that. Yeah. So yeah, okay guys, see each other in a few minutes and we will go with Q&A.